Hey, so I'm Wyatt Gill, and this is my internship presentation. So I'm Wyatt Gill. I'm a senior in the construction management program at UWF. My career goals are to work my way up to a project manager over the years, and when I feel confident in my skills, start my own general contracting company. I've lived in Pensacola my whole life and plan to open my company around this area as well. And that's just, it's just the start of a career right now. And that's why I was excited to get out there and learn as much as I did. So the agency I did my internship at was Parsco Construction. So they're a small general contractor located in Pensacola, Florida. We don't have more than 10 employees, so we're a very small company. So we do small and medium sized commercial, and we also do residential as well. Throughout my internship, I just did I did commercial. I didn't really go to any residential jobs. But we have a couple residential jobs going on. I was just never part of those during my internship. So I chose Parsco because it's the size of a company I want to have one day. See, when I own my own company, I don't want to have something too big that it's going to stress me out. That when I can do these small and medium-sized jobs and make just as much money with less employees and a little bit less stress. So we do a variety of job types, so it helps me build my skills in a variety of jobs. So we've done new construction, we've done residential renovations on commercial, new residential, residential remodels. We've done restaurants, hotels, pole barns. So we've just done so much stuff. And what a lot of people don't understand is that each one of those type of construction takes a different set of skill. So if you're not getting exposed to different types of construction, then it's going to be hard for you to really progress into every single type of construction out there. So the main job I was on was Brent Loss, and this is so pretty much we're building 30 luxury condos in the Brent building downtown right there on Palafox, and it's going to have a rooftop bar. So the building was built in 1908 after the 1907 downtown Palafox fires. So pretty much the whole Palafox Street burned down, and they built this building in 1908. And we pretty much went in here. I want to say we started this job in 2000 in let's see 2021 is when we really went to full force on this job. So we started before my internship, and we're still there now. And it's pretty much just a complete renovation of pretty much that whole building. We pretty much took it down to everything. We gutted everything besides the flooring and the structural walls. So my goals of this internship was I really wanted to learn more of the administration side of construction. So I've been working in the field for 3 years, and I really just wanted to get in there and start learning more of the administration side. So I want to start learning how to do takeoffs and estimates better. That's a big skill that you need, and without that one, you won't get very far. I wanted to understand ASIs a little bit better. Just kind of look at them, understand why the architect's sending this and why they want to do it a certain type of way. So I want to learn how to write RFIs, and then I want to learn how to update schedules, and I wanted to understand how to write contracts. So that was my whole goal going into this. And that's a lot of what I find important on the administration side that I'm aware of right now. And I'm sure there's a lot more that I haven't been exposed to. So my responsibilities at Parscos was RFIs and submittals with log updates, ASI and work orders with logs, daily reports, coordination with suppliers, vendors, and deliveries, coordination with subcontractors, schedule updates, quality control and inspections, and safety enforcement. So pretty much the biggest skills I learned was communication with vendors and subcontractors. If you really talk to anyone that really knows me, my biggest fault is I just don't communicate that well, and I'm just kind of quiet. So definitely getting out there, learning how to talk with these vendors and subcontractors definitely kind of helped me take that step in the right place. I gained a lot of confidence with reading plans throughout this internship, just being there looking at a plan. It all just starts clicking after a while once you keep on looking at it. I learned a lot of skills on quantity takeoffs. I did a lot of takeoffs throughout this internship, and just being able to quickly do a takeoff, that really was something I'm glad I learned. Supervisor role. So there's a lot of times I was kind of put in a supervisor role out there on the job and kind of have people below me. I had to pretty much supervise and make sure they're leading stuff in the right direction, doing it with safety, and pretty much we get it done on time. Quality control punch outs. That was a big thing they had me doing, just walking around, making sure everything was under control, everything was going right, and just being able to walk into a room and tell if something was wrong. That's a big part of this job that not a lot of people think. And so I got pretty good at that. Scheduling with subcontractors, I wouldn't say a whole bunch of scheduling with subcontractors, but I did a good bit. And that's really the biggest skills I've learned throughout this internship. So my benefits from this internship, so I learned how to deal with problems on a job and how to resolve them. So with a trying to renovate a 100-year-old problem, the engineers don't really know what's behind the walls. Architects aren't measuring every wall to see if every wall is square. So we kept on running into problems with the plans, with what the engineer wanted to do when it worked. So it was a lot of trying to figure it out, communicating with them, ASIs, RFIs, and a lot of just how to get it done. Because, not everything was in the easiest situation to get done. And I have a couple of pictures that will show it later on in the presentation. So, like I said earlier, I think I gained a lot of communication skills. And I think as long as I keep on working hard at it and keep on kind of putting myself in that awkward situation of having that conversation, then that will definitely benefit me more. And my basic construction knowledge went through the roof throughout this internship. I learned a lot of just about some basic construction stuff. And it's a lot of listening to the guys out there on the job too. Like they might not have went to school, but they've also been doing it for 40 years. So they definitely have experience in that. So technology and skills. So all the technology I used was pretty much on Excel. We might use Primavera for scheduling, but not really that much when we're at this point in this job. We would just update it through Excel pretty much. And pretty much I did all my takeoffs in Excel. That made it a lot easier. Just learning the tips and tricks that you can do in Excel, pretty much just a lot easier. And really you can do anything. Like I was doing daily reports in Excel. I was doing labor trackers in Excel, tracking subcontractors' times in Excel. So pretty much everything can be done through Excel. So getting good at Excel is definitely a big part of this degree and this career. So my results were I learned a lot through my internship at Parsco. I reached my goals on getting better with being a supervisor in the field, takeoffs and plan reading. I would have enjoyed seeing more of the administrative side of these tasks, like writing RFIs, contract schedules, and more of the office work. Even though I did not reach all my goals, I learned a lot and 10 times better than where I was before. So yeah, I mean, end of the day, it's still a business. You can't expect them to put you in running a multi-million dollar contract. You got to work your way up there. And I'm sure I'll get there if I continue working hard. So I got some pictures, kind of give you a better idea of the job. So pretty much this whole third floor on both sides, that was where the units were going. And then from this chute down to this little wall right there, that's part of the job on both sides. And then just where that dumpster's at, it's just that little hallway, which is the entrance to the job. That's a little crane. I'll show you better pictures in a second. So pretty much we went in and we demoed a whole elevator shaft, and we pretty much demoed the whole roof off. And pretty much we had to get a crane to fly the elevator and all the elevator equipment out. And that was a very big task and very big milestone of the job. So right here is just a little kind of demo of some of the things they want done. So pretty much the rooftop bar is going to go through that little opening on the other side. And this is all framed in now. And pretty much so this is the new elevator shaft. So you come up here. This is going to be a new staircase in the center where this steel is. And then right outside that door, it's going to be a storefront that leads to the rooftop bar. And then so all this steel, we installed every steel. We did all the bolt connections and the placement of the steel on this whole job. So we put all this steel in these stub columns, and then we had a welder come and weld it off, of course, but we pretty much placed all the steel. Here's just another picture right here. So that's the elevator shaft. That's going to be a staircase coming up, leading out to a rooftop bar down there. And so we actually ended up demoing this whole brick wall. So this was a pretty much a brick wall from all four sides. And we demoed two sides of that brick wall. So we demoed both sides of that. We cut that beam out, cut the roof out, and put the steel up. So this is pretty much a dog run so people can walk their kids. So we pretty much demoed down to the deck of the roof, the concrete deck, and installed these stub columns. And then we ran galvanized steel outside. So this is going to be out in the open. So our building's going to stop along this wall right here. And pretty much it's going to be like a little turfed area. People can come walk their dogs. That's the elevator shaft. That's the hoist beam right there. And then here's a picture of me pretty much on a chip and hammer 4:30 in the morning. So pretty much we had to add a whole new two new staircases for means of egress off the roof since there's going to be a bar right behind me. So pretty much we had to demo the roof. So it has this little layer, then about a 12-inch layer lightweight, and then down to the concrete deck. So that's the concrete deck right there. So then we ended up cutting out this concrete deck just right here into a existing staircase. And then we had to build a stair enclosure. So we were originally going to build the stair enclosure on the ground and get a crane to lift it up. But since if I go all the way back to this first building, so one of the staircases kind of goes right in this area, and the other one goes right there. And that's really the only place we could set the crane was right there. So the crane didn't have enough boom to get to that side of the building or that side, and we couldn't put the crane on Palafox because they wouldn't allow that. So we had to build it on the ground, and we ended up flying it up piece by piece, just like this. Here's a picture of us setting it and bracing it off. And then we ended up flying the stairs in piece by piece as well. And then we had it welded in place. So that's me right there. I'm giving the crane pretty much directions on where to move the stair landing right there. Just another piece, better picture of the crane. Those are the walls we installed. So we eventually put the cap on this roof once we had all the stairs in place. Here's a couple pictures of the framing, a couple before pictures of what it looks like before we're getting to the final stages. Here's just another picture of framing. So this is actually a fire rated wall we had to install. So a little shaft liner, double layer sheetrock, insulated. And this is actually a 1,700-pound lintel that we installed in the middle of the building. So this was a whole brick wall, and they wanted to pretty much open it up. So this is about a 18-foot pretty much cut in this wall. So this little brick opening spans 18 foot. So we had to shore up the concrete slabs on both sides of the wall, shore up that steel beam right there. We had to get it move this lintel in piece by piece and get it welded on. And then since you really have no heavy lifting, you can get inside the building. We had to end up using 3 duct lifts to move her to get her up and place her in. So that's it placed right there. And of course it got backfilled with mortar there, and up on top. So we pretty much ended up not they wanted exposed brick everywhere, but a lot of the brick was it wasn't in good shape. So we had to go in and we had to stucco every side. So this is kind of like the stair lobby. So this is a light well right here. So this is pretty much just like it used to be a little roof and it used to join pretty much these sides and these are pretty much balconies for the units we're building. And so we ended up going in, demoing the roof and installing each one of these columns one by one before the panels. And so we did all the layout and all the install on those columns. That was a progress. And you can actually see these little stub columns, and we're installing them right there on that parapet wall. So here's just another one of those light wells, but this on the third floor. This is more like a hangout area for the residents. And pretty much same thing about stub columns, pavers. This got a little turf area. And there's a bit better picture of the little stair enclosure we put up that I was talking about earlier. So now we're getting a better picturing about units. So this arch is actually gonna get filled in with a bookcase eventually. Here's just one of the tile units, cabinets, backsplash right there. Just another design, one of the designs. So this one's got LVP instead, different colored backsplash. Here's a picture of the bathroom. So pretty much we had 4 different types of bathrooms installed on this job. This is one of the flooring and tile combinations. And so here's what I'm talking about with the brick. So we expose as much brick as we could. And yeah, so pretty much some of it was just bad being, over 100 years old, so we had to get rid of it, cover it up. That's trim work, that's custom trim work by our trim guy. And that's it. So just give you a better understanding of the job, 100-year-old building, making it look into what these pictures are saying. It takes a lot of work and been there forever. But we really bringing it to an end, and I've learned so much over this job, over this internship, and you know, really appreciate it. I think my agency was a great agency to work for. I think Parsco is one of the better companies to learn from just because it's so small. You have a mirror that will really take you one-on-one if you need it and teach you anything you need to know or want to know. And he has no problem with that. He'll take you out to lunch and he loves when you ask him as much questions as he can answer. And it's just a great group of guys to learn from. And I really enjoy my internship time at Parsco. Thank you.